Hi, I'm here at the Boone County Public Library. Today we're going to interview Carrie Herrmann. She's the director of Boone County Public Libraries to see about her personal story and why today's library is much different from the library of your past. Today on People of Northern Kentucky. Welcome to People of Northern Kentucky, Carrie. We're so glad to have you today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Well, I have known you out of Rotary for a little while, but tell me a little bit about yourself and your history, where you come from, and then when you came to Northern Kentucky and what you do here.
Okay. I was actually born in San Antonio, Texas. My father was in the Air Force, but he and my mother were both from Northern Kentucky. So when he got out of the Air Force, he brought the family back home. I started out in Campbell County. I've lived in Kenton County. I've lived in Boone County. I went to Northern Kentucky University, where I earned my bachelor's in English. Took a year off from college and actually worked for a company that specialized in teaching foreign business people being transferred to the United States English.
Wow.
Then I decided I was going back for graduate school, and I went to Indiana University to be a folklorist. So I still wasn't thinking of libraries as a career for me. Spent a year there when I finally said, you know what? My job right out of college was working for a library. I worked for the Kenton County Public Library for 5 years. Mm-hmm. When I went to Indiana University, the first job I had there was working in the library at the university. And I said, I love libraries. So I decided to change my major. And of course, my parents are panicking at this point. Oh my goodness, what's she doing now? And I went to the University of Kentucky, where I earned a master's in library and information science. I did it through their distance learning program, so I actually never stepped foot on the UK campus when I was taking my classes. And I worked for Campbell County. While I did that, I worked for Campbell County full-time for 8 years while I worked on my degree part-time. After I earned my degree, I kind of worked my way up a little bit in the Campbell County Library organization, and then there was an opening here at Boone County. So I came here. It had a lot of growth potential that I could see, and I've been here now for 17 years.
Wow. Let's go back to that folklorist.
Yes.
Exactly what do you do as a folklorist?
My particular emphasis was what they call material culture. Mm-hmm. So I probably would have wound up working for a living history museum or a museum in general. I was very much interested in the architecture, textile art, so how they used quilts to tell stories, things like that.
Oh, wow, that's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here you're the director.
Yes,
of the library.
I've been the director for the last 2 years.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So before we go into that a little bit, because I want you to tell me more about the modern day library, tell me first a little bit about your family.
Well, I'm married. We've been married for 22 years now. We have 3 children. 2 girls and a boy. The oldest is a junior in high school. The middle one is in 8th grade, and the baby of the family is the only boy, and he's in 4th grade. So they keep me very busy. Yes. Between academic team, energy club, cross country, Lego club, the list could go on and on. So, wow. Yeah.
I do know you're a busy woman.
Yes.
We've been trying to track you down for an interview for a while.
I know.
Your family keeps you very busy.
Yes, they do. We've started college searching for the oldest one now. I wasn't quite prepared for that. And of course, there's the sticker shock when you really start looking at the price of college. She keeps me busy. She's getting ready now to leave for Costa Rica to do some work on a biology field station there. Last summer she spent in Japan as an exchange student. The middle one, she's always busy she's more of my outdoorsy person. Mm-hmm. I keep telling people she's not quite sure if she's a tomboy or a princess.
Oh, okay.
So
In between.
in between. So we go from, Mom, I want a gun for my next birthday, to it's time to go to violin lessons now. So we're not quite sure what we're going to do. And then the boy is just active. They kept telling me, when you have a boy, you haven't seen active yet. Well, now I understand.
So you have a very active family, and then you've got a very important job here in Boone County. Now, I know, before we get into the details of what the library does, I know that Boone County's very well regarded in Kentucky.
Yes, we are.
As one of the top library systems.
We are the fourth largest library system in the state. And when you start looking and comparing statistics and how we do, we'll rank anywhere from second to fourth within the state. Whether it's the number of visitors, the number of people walking into our building, the number of people attending our programs, circulation. Although, you know, the number of books being checked out from a library is becoming less and less important when you look at a 21st century library. Yes, we still have all of the books that you want to come in and you want to check out, but really we're becoming a community center, so that we have a lot of people who come in to just use us for meeting rooms, attend any number of programs that we have here at the library, someplace to study. We're not exactly quiet all the time.
As you can tell.
As you can
today.
tell, especially during the summer. I laughingly tell people that our summer reading program, it's the largest program that we do all year long. We prepare for this like we're going to war. We have already started preparing for our summer reading program in 2018.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's a year-long, never-ending process. And summer reading isn't just about getting people in, getting them to check out stuff. It's about getting people reading. Lots of research that's out there now about how you need infants and toddlers and preschoolers need to see people reading, need to be read to. It's very important. Research out about how important it is for children to be reading on the third grade level by the time they finish third grade. So our summer reading program is actually designed around getting those kids being read to, as well as getting those kids reading, and then involving our adults as role models for kids. So,
Well, I know that Boone County's done such a great job at this that y'all actually go out and teach other counties how to do library right.
yeah,
Is that correct?
yes, we do. We're very active. We do a lot of workshops around the state. We do a lot of webinars. We do a lot of training nationwide also, whether it's through webinars or having us go to national conferences to present about how we do things. Our early literacy department, a lot of people don't realize this. We offer 22 story times every week between all of our locations. And our story time people are trained in early childhood, early literacy education. Excuse me, whether that is the latest research in learning or the latest neural research in how young children learn. And we are trained not only to use those techniques in our story times, but to be trainers for child care centers, to be trainers for other libraries. We also are trained to do what they call the Ages and Stages questionnaire. So if you are wondering if your child is at the right developmental stage, we can actually do those developmental screenings here, and then we can make recommendations of, maybe a little bit of delayed of speech. Here are some recommendations on agencies that can help you with that.
You're actually even doing evaluations
Yes.
on kids to help the parents get them up to speed.
Yes, we
Tell
are.
them different ways to go. Wow,
Mhm.
that's awesome.
We're very involved with our local schools. We do programs for the after-school groups there. We've gone in and done programs in the classrooms. We work with the school libraries there. We have a very nice partnership with our local schools.
And I've seen the outreach, some kind of truck, big van or something,
big
mobile. What is this and where does it go?
It's the Big Blue Bus,
Yes.
or we hear it done by two different names. The official name for that vehicle is the Community Center on Wheels.
Okay.
And we take the cow, as it's known internally, we take the cow to preschool centers, daycare centers, and again, we're doing those early literacy story times for the kids. At the same time, we're providing resources for those daycares, those child care centers that the teachers can then use in their classrooms for the rest of the week or the rest of the month, however long they want it. It goes to different neighborhood stops in the evening. The Community Center on Wheels is out a lot. You'll find us at the Hebron, Roundabout Hebron Costume Walk in October. You'll find us at various events in the city of Florence, the city of Union. We're constantly getting requests to take the Community Center on Wheels out.
Well, I've seen it driving down the road, so I know you're out a lot.
It's hard to miss.
Yes, it is.
Quite honestly.
Yes. Okay, so we touched on some of the activities that you do, but let's go into further, like, I know a lot of people still view library as a depository of books.
Yes.
So update those that do not know on all the different things that are available here in this building, online, and...
Well, talking about libraries, and I'll go back to your depository of books. Libraries in the beginning and still today were developed to share information and knowledge. And it just so happens that for the longest time, the best way to share information and knowledge was through books. It's not like that anymore. And I've been in libraries 28 years now, total. So I've seen a lot of changes in those 28 years. Now we have the books. We have the internet. We have all of the electronic resources, whether you're talking about ebooks or streaming videos or streaming music. We have Freegal, which is actually, the way it gets its name is Free and Legal Music.
Oh, okay.
So this is a resource that if you have a Boone County Public Library card, you can download 5 songs a week. And it goes anywhere from jazz to country to the latest rock to the latest pop to children's music to world music to classical. And you get to keep those 5 songs that you have downloaded. You can put them on your iPod, your phone, your MP3 player, your computer, burn them to a CD. They're yours.
Cool.
They're yours to keep. And
that comes with your library
That
card.
comes with your library card. But one of the big reasons we went for that is music is a type of language. You get to know other people. Again, it's another form of information. It's another form of knowledge. We've talked about, or I've mentioned a little bit about the library programs that we do. It goes anywhere from story times to, we've had a Holocaust survivor come in, a different one for the last 5 years come in and talk about the different experiences that they had. We had 3 World War II veterans who came in, talked to us about their different experiences. One was in the Philippines, one was in Europe, one, I'm trying to remember where the third one was. Oh, he was on a sub. So there were just 3 different experiences. We also had the last surviving Doolittle Raider come in and speak. Wow. So these are all people who, they're getting up there in age. The last surviving Doolittle Raider was 102 when he came in and spoke. So we're running out of chances to hear firsthand accounts from those people. So we bring programs in like that, and they engage anywhere from, third grade up to adults. So our programs are really, really big. We do a Carnival of Cultures at our Florence branch, where they invite different people. So there's the Italian American Society, the Irish Heritage Society, there's the Japanese Society, so all different groups of people to come in, and they play the music, they teach games, they read stories from their culture. Again, it's all educational. I am a proponent of what I call sneaky learning. I want things to be fun, entertaining, but I also want them to be educational, which is what the library is all about.
Yes, I know all about sneaky learning because I was a homeschool mom for 25 years. So
Yes.
I had to engage in that a lot, and I used the local library quite a bit.
Yes.
During that time for books, for experience live programs, and also for online resources. So I love the fact that you're doing the live learning experiences.
Yes.
Because I found that my children learned better that way.
Hands-on.
Yes.
Yes. Some things that we're experimenting right now. We are looking at VR goggles, virtual reality goggles.
Oh.
There's a lot that you can do educationally with those. There are programs that will allow you to walk through and tour museums in Italy. So if you can't go there, you can see the paintings, you can see the sculptures, it almost feels like you can touch them.
So you'll be able to come here and put on the glasses and do a tour
Yes.
of the,
Yes.
that would be
So
awesome.
we're working with them right now to design what kind of services, what kind of programs that we can do here at the library that way.
Wow. Now I know that you have a lot of like ebooks also available.
Yes, we do. We started with our ebook library in 2006. And I have to tell this story. I could see that ebooks were coming, and they hadn't arrived yet. But I knew I could everything I was reading, everything I was seeing seemed to indicate we needed to make sure we had a collection ready when that tipping point came. So I started talking to some of the vendors, and during one of the conversations, I happened to ask, so what would happen if more than Boone County Public Library wanted to do this together? My thought at the time was, let's see if Campbell County and Kenton County libraries might be interested in partnering up. It snowballed from there, and I accidentally started a statewide consortium. So
Wow.
it's called Kentucky Libraries Unbound. And it now has 103 of the 120 counties in Kentucky are members of the consortium.
Wow.
With everything I was doing at the time, it outgrew my capacity to handle it, plus what was supposed to be my everyday job at the time. So we had to hire a digital services librarian who could help manage the statewide consortium. And it does take a lot of time, but we have thousands of ebooks. And as popular as the ebooks are, what's really popular are the downloadable audiobooks. So especially now with the work going on the bridge, with your library card, you can download these audiobooks and you can listen to them. Yes, you can listen to your book.
On the traffic.
So there's that. We have the streaming music, not just Freegal, but through Kentucky Libraries Unbound. We have other CDs that you can check out that way. We have videos, streaming videos. They're not the new releases because the publishers, the clearinghouses will not allow those to go to libraries yet. So usually there's about a 2-year lag before we get a new release at that point.
Okay.
But what we have are a lot of, we went with the nonfiction videos. So, we have a lot of Food Network, we have a lot of History Channel, the PBS, BBC shows. So we have a lot of things along those lines.
Educational videos. Oh,
Yes.
good. And online also, I know you have like Zenio, I think you call it. That's
We do.
magazines.
I'm not sure why I forget about that because that's how I read my Food Network magazine every month.
Okay.
So, Zenio is wonderful. They are digital magazines that you can have delivered to your ebook or your e-reader, your iPad, your tablet, your laptop, whatever it is you have. And we have some of the most popular magazines. As I said, Food Network is my popular one, the one I like to read. And once you check one issue out, when a new issue comes out, you just automatically get an email saying, hey, do you know that there's a new issue available for you to go and download to your tablet?
That's nice.
It
I'm
is.
gonna have to start using that, Carrie.
And this is it's the full magazine. So you get the ads and you get everything. Yes, and then, we're still a library. We also have all of our databases. We call them research tools here. So you can do anything from learn to repair your car or your lawnmower since it's summer, or your boat, to when you're in school, you can research the topic that your teacher has given you, whether it's to compare and contrast economies of two different countries, or your Shakespeare paper that you have to do, or your To Kill a Mockingbird paper that you have to do, or if you're getting ready to buy a new TV, we have Consumer Reports. So you can do all your research through Consumer Reports. We have Value Line to help you track your stocks.
Wow.
So we a lot of different resources. Yeah.
And I also know, talking of research, you have a lot of local history and genealogy too, correct?
Our local history department is known nationally.
Wow.
Just to let you know, they have won awards nationally. They're a small department, but boy are they busy. They have created an online repository called the Chronicles of Boone County, where they have digitized photographs and records and Bibles. And I tell people I think they're out to digitize the world. If it has to do with Boone County, they get their hands on it, they get permission, they digitize it, they put it online, and they make it searchable. And if you can't find something, you contact them. They'll do the research and they'll make it available for you. One of the local, or our most recent endeavor has been the Underground Railroad in Boone County. Up until about 2 years ago, there was very little research done. We knew it happened. We knew it had to have happened in Boone County. Just because we're along the river, we had to be part of that route. But there was no honest research done. They started digging in, and they've created a bus tour. So you can take heritage bus tours through Boone County, where they talk about the various sites and the people who were involved. It's gotten enough attention that the National Park Service came to see what we were doing. They took one of the tours and they came back and they asked us to apply to become a member of the National Park Service Network to Freedom group. And that gets us, once we are totally approved, and at this point, I'm knocking on wood here, it doesn't look like it's going to be a problem to get us approved. It's just going through the right channels. We will be listed as a national research area, a national research institution for the country, and Underground Railroad will become a repository for this area for Underground Railroad information. Also opens us up and makes us eligible for lots of grants to continue our research and our work.
Wow, that's really impressive.
It is, and honestly, it started with one person going, so what do you know about this? And then it just kind of mushroomed and blew up and kept going, and it's developed a life on its own.
Oh, congratulations, that's really neat.
It is.
Well, and also know if you're starting genealogy, this is the place to start.
They are wonderful. And they don't just do genealogy here in Boone County. If you live here now, but you had roots in, let's say, Winchester or Corbin, or it doesn't even have to be in Kentucky, St. Louis or Richmond, Virginia, they'll help you track that down. They're an interesting mixture of librarians and historians. So half the department has library degrees, the other half have public history degrees.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, and you know, it's not just the local history department that will do that research. Our reference department will also do what they call one-on-one appointments, so that you can call, set up an appointment, and they'll help you do research. Let's say you're wanting to start a new business. They'll help you look and see what businesses are in this area that are doing something similar, what your possible client base might be. So they'll help you do some of that research.
Is this free?
Yes. With your library card.
I've opened a business before, and I had to do all that research myself.
Yes. So we'll sit down. We'll work with you. They'll walk you through the steps, show you how to do that. We have some good resources here that you can use. You know, we've done anything on these one-on-ones, from helping people who are getting ready to start their business to you know, working with a student who's doing a research paper for, you know, their senior year or their junior year or what have you, to people who are just not sure. You know, Medicare has different parts to it. We can sit down and say, here's what Part A, here's what Part D is. We can't tell them which is the best one for them to use, but we can at least help them understand it a little bit better.
So your research department does?
Yes, our research does all of that.
101.
Yes, and you know, we have numerous people who walk in with their brand new tablet still in a box going, how do I use this? And they don't even blink anymore. Let's go sit down and we'll figure this out.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, we talked about a lot of the resources here and all. I also have seen some classes, like some classes are offered here sometimes, classes on photography or different areas.
We're just finishing up a very popular digital photography series. There were 6 classes in that series. We do computer classes, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, LinkedIn, Facebook. We had a 2-year grant where we did a lot of financial literacy classes. So we taught people how to create a budget, how to do your resume, how to actually compare if you have 2 job offers, how to compare which is really the best offer for you. We've done a lot of different classes here.
Well, tell me, if someone's interested in finding out what classes and any other opportunities you have right now in the library, where's the best place for them to go to get that information?
If they go to our website, bcpl.org for Boone County Public Library, they'll want to look at the events tab, and that'll just list all of the events at all of our locations.
Okay. All right. So how many locations do you have here in Boone County?
The way I list it, we have a main library, 3 branches, I'm sorry, and a twig.
And a twig.
And a twig. It's a very, very small location in Petersburg. It has abbreviated open hours. It's staffed by 2 part-time people who are never there at the same time. It's 1,200 square feet, but
that's the twig.
Boy, that's the twig. But boy, do they do a lot of work down there. So the main library, we have a location in Hebron. Well, let me rephrase that. We have a location coming in Hebron. We are actually at the end of the schematic phase, the design phase for the building, hoping to take it out to bid so we can break ground this.
Is that the one that was Lentz, but is now, it was closed down and now coming back in a new form? In a new form. The building we closed down was 6,000 square feet. The new building is 26,000 square feet. Wow.
To accommodate the growth in Boone County, we needed a much larger location. And the one we had, Lentz, we couldn't even put Wi-Fi into it. And that's just kind of an essential basic function of a library. So we'll definitely have Wi-Fi in Hebron. Open, we have in Union, the Shaben branch. In Florence, we have the Florence branch, we have the Walton branch, and then we have the twig down in Petersburg, and then, as I've said before, we have the community center on wheels, the big blue bus.
Thank you for joining us today. Every Thursday at 10 a.m., get to know your neighbor by catching a new edition of People of Northern Kentucky.